When the verdict came down in Sean Diddy Combs' explosive federal trial, the world stood still, but not for the reasons you might expect. On one hand, the music mogul was convicted of 2 federal charges under the Mann Act for transporting individuals across state lines for illicit purposes. On the other, he was acquitted of the more serious criminal enterprise charges that many believed would finally bring justice for decades of whispered allegations and public lawsuits. But amid the chaos, confetti, and baby oil celebrations outside the courthouse, yes, literally, one voice has been steadily rising in concern, frustration, and fear. Al B. Sure, the R&B singer, producer, and most importantly, the ex of the late Kim Porter, the woman at the center of one of hip-hop's most tragic and suspicious losses, the verdict that shook the internet. And Al B. Sure, while Diddy's supporters rejoiced after the not guilty verdict on the most serious charges, critics saw it as a grave miscarriage of justice. The trial featured harrowing testimony from women, including a paid male escort, who described shocking scenes of abuse, manipulation, and control. One woman recounted having sexual relations with Cassie while she was unconscious from substances allegedly provided by Diddy. These stories formed the backbone of the federal government's case against him. Still, Diddy managed to avoid the more damning charges. For many, including Al B. Sure, this outcome was infuriating and dangerous. People were on the stand admitting to things that would normally destroy a man's life, one Twitter user noted. But somehow, Diddy walks away with a slap on the wrist. Al B. Sure wasn't just another celebrity observer. He had been closely following the trial, and in recent years has become one of Diddy's loudest critics, especially when it comes to the mysterious death of Kim Porter, the mother of 3 of Diddy's children, and the woman Al believes was silenced far too soon. Kim Porter, the mystery that never died. In November 2018, Kim Porter was found dead at her Los Angeles home. The official cause of death was listed as lobar pneumonia, but from the moment her death was announced, fans and family alike felt something was off. Kim was vibrant, healthy, and recently active on social media. No one voiced these concerns louder than Al B. Sure, her former partner and the father of her eldest son, Quincy Brown. He insisted Kim's death was not natural, suggesting in multiple posts that she had been trying to escape something or someone. In a now-deleted 2021 Instagram post, Al wrote that Kim had reached out to him before her death, saying she was running from someone or something. He claimed he told her to call the FBI, but curiously, he later edited the caption to remove any reference to federal law enforcement, claiming she was just running a marathon. The sudden change in narrative raised eyebrows. Was Al silenced, pressured, or scared? Public warnings and personal losses. Even after Kim's death, Al B. Sure continued speaking out. In one particularly emotional post, he shared a video from the morning he learned she had died, writing, "I do know very clearly that Kimberly didn't just check out all of a sudden over pneumonia. That's some BS, really. This is where I get in trouble." He didn't just point fingers. He tagged Diddy directly in the post. Al wanted him to see, wanted the world to know who he believed was responsible. "We just celebrated our son at Quincy's Netflix deal," he added. "She was in fantastic health, laughing, full of life." That post set off a firestorm, but it wasn't the last time Al risked everything to call out what he saw as a dangerous man walking free. A mysterious coma and more. Questions, then answers in 2022. Al B. Sure was hospitalized in a mysterious health crisis that left him in a coma. His organs had begun failing, a situation he now links to Diddy and his alleged network of enablers. When asked during a recent interview whether he believed Diddy or his affiliates were responsible for his condition, Al didn't hesitate. "Yes, absolutely. It's a chilling accusation. What kind of power does a man have to allegedly reach across hospital walls and nearly end someone's life?" Al has hinted that he was poisoned, monitored, and even targeted, though he stops short of naming any specific method. What he does say, however, is that he felt a bounty was placed on his head. He claims he was silenced once, but not anymore. The documentary and memoir that might blow it all open. Now that the federal trial is over, Al B. Sure is stepping back into the spotlight, not as a celebrity, but as a truth teller. He has announced the upcoming release of both a documentary and a memoir titled Do You Believe Me Now, scheduled for release this fall. Both projects are expected to chronicle his rise in the music industry, his relationship with Kim Porter, and his harrowing brush with death, all while connecting the dots between Diddy and a series of disturbing incidents that have yet to be fully explained. In a previous Instagram post, Al said, "You've witnessed only a small portion of my journey. My faith has been shaken, but never shook, and my humble spirit of discernment has taught me the definition of what sacrifice and silence truly means." He says his story is not motivated by fame or clout, but by survival and by Kim's legacy. Diddy still faces more legal trouble. Though Diddy managed to escape the harshest charges in federal court, his legal troubles are far from over. Houston-based attorney Tony Busby, who is representing more than 150 clients in lawsuits against Diddy, said the civil trials will now move forward. These cases focus on discrete wrongful conduct, Busby told reporters. The federal trial may be over, but our pursuit of justice is just beginning. That's little consolation for Al B. Sure, who believes Kim's story may never be told in court the way it should be. He worries that the verdict could numb public interest, giving Diddy space to continue avoiding accountability. What did Kim know, and what did she leave behind? In another twist, Al reacted strongly to reports of Kim's alleged diary entries being found. These notes, reportedly written in the years leading up to her death, supposedly detail Diddy's dark secrets, his control over her, and even direct threats. When Extra TV published the headline, "Diddy's late ex Kim Porter revealed his twisted secrets in alleged diary entries," Al reposted the screenshot and added, "2009 through 2018 y'all said Al B. Shore lost his mind when he warned you? Kim told me out of desperation, and y'all ignored me." Now, the possibility of a posthumous book or more diary revelations could finally vindicate Al, who for years has been mocked, ignored, and labeled a conspiracy theorist. But is the world ready for what he has to say? Supporters celebrate, critics mourn. Diddy's courtroom victory led to wild celebrations. Some of his followers even rubbed themselves down in baby oil outside the courthouse, turning the courthouse steps into an impromptu party. It was surreal. "Baby, what you see right here are people drenching in baby oil after the verdict," one media personality quipped. But for others, like Al B. Shore, it felt like a slap in the face. Victims had spoken, receipts were provided, evidence, including video footage and photographs, was laid out for the world to see. And yet, the man accused of orchestrating a lifetime of pain walked out smiling, at least for now. The judge's decision and what comes next. Although Diddy was convicted on 2 counts under the Mann Act, it's unclear how long he'll serve. He faces a maximum of 10 years per count, but judges often allow sentences to run concurrently. Moreover, he's been in jail since September 2024, and that time will be deducted from any sentence. If deemed a model prisoner, he could even receive a 15% reduction in his sentence through good behavior credits. He was also denied bond, with the judge citing his disregard for the law and affirming that mandatory detention was required for Mann Act convictions. Prosecutors pointed out that he had already fled multiple jurisdictions during the investigation, another red flag. Interestingly, Cassie herself sent a letter to the judge asking that Diddy not be released. Her testimony and prior lawsuit arguably catalyzed the entire federal case. Al's final stand. Do you believe me now? Al B. Shore has made it clear he isn't going anywhere. Despite fearing for his safety, he has said he's willing to testify, go on record, and release his memoir, all in the name of truth. His upcoming book may contain new evidence, names, or narratives that the public has never heard before. His documentary, too, promises to pull back the curtain on what really goes on behind the velvet rope of fame, fortune, and fear. He isn't just fighting for himself, he's fighting for Kim, for his son Quincy, and for every voice that was allegedly silenced in the name of protecting Diddy's empire. And as Al often says, this isn't about revenge, it's about redemption. Final thoughts. The Diddy saga is far from over. With federal and civil courts still in play, the music mogul may face even more scrutiny in the coming months. But perhaps the most dangerous storm is the one brewing from a man who nearly lost everything and is now ready to speak his truth, no matter the cost. So the question remains, do you believe Al B. Shore now?